Hi, this is Tom Malloy for Filmmaking Stuff and Filmmaking Stuff HQ. I wanted to talk again about the virtual markets. Now, I did a video before about Virtual Can, which just passed, and the actual way it went down and how that worked. But what I want to do now is talk specifically about the markets in the future and how that affected. Many times, things need that jolt to get that change, and we've seen that COVID-19 has jolted a lot of things, okay? And in many ways, people realized meetings didn't always have to be done face-to-face. When we would do these Zoom meetings for Virtual Can, it was like we met with the buyer. And anybody that's listening to this video, if you've done a Zoom meeting, it feels like you're meeting with that person. Now, you can't give them a hug, you can't shake their hand, you can't do this. Those kind of things that you may have the intricacies, or maybe there is a kind of stumbling on the Wi-Fi and it's not as clear all the time. But look, we didn't really have those problems. Our Wi-Fi was pretty stable and we had it pretty solid the whole time. Maybe one or two little things. One of the Eastern European countries, it was tough to get video, so we turned the video off. We just did audio. But other than that, it was pretty solid. So the key is, what does this mean for markets? All right, now I'll say this: 2020, TIFF has already announced that they're doing a hybrid, which is the Toronto Film Festival. So we don't know exactly what that's going to be. And you have two other majors coming up, which would be MIPCOM, which is also in Cannes, and that's the TV market. And then you have AFM, which is the American Film Market in Santa Monica. Both of these, initially, my company, I will say, had intended to go to, but you look at it now and you say, okay, is that even a possibility? MIPCOM in France, right now they're talking about Europe not even letting Americans into that country. And the same goes for Santa Monica in November. Maybe things will be different. Let's hope and pray it is different. But at that time, there's going to be nobody coming overseas that wants to potentially sit in quarantine for 14 days here and then go sit in quarantine for 14 days over there. So because of the second wave and the spike, and especially in places like California, where that's where the AFM is, that could be a problem. So you look at it and you say, well, it's probably going to be a virtual market. And again, you can embrace it. Like I said, we embraced Virtual Can, and I believe that we had a very successful Virtual Can. A lot of other people I see, competitors and sales agent friends, complaining about it and saying it wasn't the same. Of course, it's not going to be the same. That's understandable. But is it valuable? And for us, it was valuable. So you have to look at it from a filmmaker perspective and say, how can I get some value out of it? And for you, so much of it was the same. For us, it was like, we were reaching out to buyers to set up a meeting. Now, we'd be setting up a meeting for our booth in Cannes or our hotel room at AFM in Berlin, okay? But in this case, we were setting up a Zoom meeting. So it was a link, okay? And funny enough, and I'll show you some pictures, I had my colleague come over to my house as my home office, as you can see behind me, which, because I have two Cannes posters right there, as you can see, people thought we art directed the office, but we did not. That they're always there. And another thing is that we were able to take a background from the year before and put it as a virtual background. So then that was always kind of our joke, and the buyers just loved that because they felt like they were meeting us in Cannes. But for you as a filmmaker, it's the same thing. You're going to reach out, in your case, and reach out to sales agents and distributors and try to set up a meeting. Now, just because the meeting is virtual doesn't mean it's an actual meeting. It is. You're talking to that person. It's just on video instead of right in front of you. So the same thing goes, the same kind of routine that you would do in the markets in the past, which is to reach out, do the kind of legwork, set up the meeting. It's just the meeting is online. So I don't think, I actually think that there's positives for you as a filmmaker. I don't think you'll lose a lot. I think that you'll gain something with, maybe you won't be face-to-face, but you're not going to maybe spend the money to get there because it should be a cheaper value to get the ticket. And then there's no plane ticket if you have to do that, no hotel room, no gas, whatever you got to do to get there, that's kind of taken out of the equation. So it's just the admission fee to get the pass. So anyway, I will say that this could be a potential. There's markets during the year. There's EFM in Berlin, Cannes in France, Toronto, TIFF and AFM. You look at those and you go, are one of them going to go? Cannes will never go. It's part of the French culture. It's the biggest film festival in the world. I don't think Berlin will ever go. I don't think TIFF will ever go. I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm saying that maybe all the markets may not be exactly what they were. So you have to embrace this and hopefully get some value out of it. If you want more videos about filmmaking, check out the link below. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.